like a pretty good day on Wall Street thus far. Let's go ahead and check in with the Money Master, the Director of financial newsletters at Newsmax.com. Jeff Yastine joins us. All right, Jeff, I'm going to leave it to you, but I'm looking here and I'm seeing a lot of green.
Yeah, it's a good day so far on Wall Street. The Dow's up about 50 points. We have the S&P 500 up 11, NASDAQ up 31. So if this continues, we're looking at a new all-time highs for all three of these indexes today. And some of this, again, pick your reason. Some of this may be based on the fact that oil prices have moved a little bit lower. When I looked a short time ago, oil was down to $74 a barrel, and some new data, inflation data on wholesale prices came out this morning, and it showed a little bit higher of a notch, and maybe indicating that inflation is a healthy form of inflation, maybe taking shape inside some of these business indexes.
Let's get to the news right here. Home Depot, better than expected quarterly sales, which is interesting because they've got at least 44 civil lawsuits related to that breach of information in the United States and Canada. Shows that people will still shop there no matter what.
It does. In many ways, it's showing that people are comfortable, more comfortable than they were 2 or 3 years ago, certainly, about their positions, their job positions in the economy, and therefore going and buying and doing the reinvesting into their homes or other home improvement projects that they're looking to do. And Home Depot has been the beneficiary of that. And the data breach you mentioned about the 44 lawsuits, that's still out there. The stock is up about 300% in the last, 3 years or so. It's up 20% in the past year. The fact that these data breach lawsuits have not really hurt the stock may just be indicating that the investors have sort of baked in a lot of the gains that we've seen in that stock because of the economy improving, and perhaps have not discounted the effect of these data breach lawsuits, which is still probably a year or two in the future.
Got a lot of people who would swear by the Samsung phone, and of course their advertising tells us that they're bigger than iPhone and we're one of the biggest in the world, whatever you want to call it, just throw the advertising in there. But now they're reducing the number of models by up to 30 cents because they have been losing money.
They have. They're having a big problem, especially in China, which is a key market for them, where the iPhone, the new iPhone model, has taken away sort of the premium end of the market, and a lot of the cheaper part of the market, which is a big part of the Chinese smartphone handset sales. A lot of that's coming from Chinese-based manufacturers that Samsung really can't compete with, based in Korea like they are. So they're having to basically go with fewer models, less inventory to move around, more ability to control the quality and the cost structure of the phones that they'll be coming out with in the next year or two.
And in a related note, here's the iPad mini that a lot of people love. Now you have Nokia, which is based out of Finland. They're bringing a brand back because I guess they figure that now's the time, and maybe even the iPad mini is able to be caught and surpassed.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I kind of laugh because it's like, in some ways, it's like, what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again. They didn't really get much traction even with their smartphone unit. That's in part one reason why they sold it to Microsoft. And Microsoft just really just wanted it to help keep their Windows phone language alive and have a market for that. So, here's Nokia. They're going to try something going with an iPad knockoff, if you will, and they're going to try and sell it apparently in China. Maybe it'll work, but again, it's like, do they really think they can compete with Chinese manufacturers who are coming out with similar models? So, again, more power to them. Let's see if they can try it. Perhaps they ought to focus on other things that are probably more of their core competencies than doing consumer digital devices like this.
Shush, you're talking common sense now. 30 seconds left. The Prime Minister of Japan calling for an early election. Why is this, and how will it affect the world markets at all, if any?
Yeah, there's basically wants to call for an early election, a snap election, that would then show from Japanese voters that the Prime Minister still has a mandate with voters, and therefore the government can continue with this shock therapy, extreme style quantitative easing that they've been doing for the last 2 years to try to somehow move Japan's economy and the stock market higher. The stock market's done great. It hit a 7-year high just the other day, but average people, just like here, do not feel like they've really benefited from the quantitative easing in Japan thus far.
Welcome to the world markets. Remind everybody, you want to find out more of what's happening in money, make sure you go to Newsmax.com, click on the Money tab. You'll go right there to the Money issue, the Money edition. Find out what Jeff and the guys are thinking there. Also, don't forget to see Jeff's latest report on a covert plan to unleash financial havoc by visiting FIRcollapse.com. Thanks, Jeff. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Ed.
For the midweek, and MidPoint continues.